All right. Hello, Tuwin. How are you?
Hey man, good. How are you?
I'm good. So, in the recent days, I've been looking at a lot of videos and photographs of you going to Malaysia, to different countries to play squash. So, to anyone who doesn't know what Tuwin does, he's a part of the national squash team, and
Yes.
you have the world rank and also the Asian rank. So, can you tell us about your rankings first so that we can quickly jump
Y-
into that and start?
Yeah. So ranking wise, I'm number five in Sri Lanka, and this nationals is coming, so it's starting tomorrow. So that's somewhere I'm going to make a difference because I was looking forward for it. The nationals, I'm going to give my best, and as well as my Asian rankings, I'm seated top 50 in Asia since I represented Sri Lanka at Asian Championships, Asian Individual Squash Championships in Hong Kong, China. As well as I recently started playing pro because in May, I started playing professional squash and I joined the Professional Squash Federation Association. And since then, I had a world rank of 700 and got an official world rank of 673. Then, by the time like over 8 months of period of time, now I'm currently 471 in the world. And also, after this nationals, it will reach higher as well because national is also a professional tournament. Yeah, so
Currently, your world rank is 471. Is it?
yeah, it's a current world rank is 471 in the world.
Okay, I think it has improved by the last time I met you, it was 660 somewhere.
Six.
Now,
Yeah.
yeah, now it has improved dramatically. How old are you?
Yes, I'm 23.
23. So I think, in my perspective, to a person who is just 23, I feel like you're highly motivated and very consistent, very disciplined about the things that you do. So that's why
Yes.
you're continuing, continuously progressing in the speed that you are progressing right now. So
Yes.
one thing I
Okay.
would say that people can learn from you, almost anyone, almost a lot of people can learn from you, is the consistency.
Yes.
And I think you have a burning desire for squash, and maybe that drives you in the speed that you're driving towards your goals right now. First of
Yeah.
all, my question is, why squash? How did it start? Why did you pick that?
Scotch. Scotch is actually it's a coincidence to be honest because I went to DS and in the school time when every student gets selected it has to choose a sport right in when you're in grade 2. So likewise the grade 2 class my grade 2 class we went to play badminton because there was selection for the badminton team junior to get started some sport. So I got selected. Like first, we throw the shuttle. I still can remember, and then the coach comes and picks if he can throw the shuttle to the other side. Right at the age of like 7 years old, it's really impossible to throw the shuttle at at that height because even though you are in like grade 7, grade 5, grade 2, it doesn't matter. The net size is the same, right? So anyway, I was able to throw that shuttle to the other side, and I got selected to badminton. But the Scotch coach, who's like coaching the juniors, he was looking at me, and he just asked me to come and play, give a try at Scotch, right? So I got selected to play badminton, and I never I have never like attended to a badminton session because I was selected to play squash. And since grade 2 onwards, I started playing squash, and I and also I never played novices because in the first tournament I placed runner up, so second place in my first tournament. And if you place uh, top two in your age category, you cannot compete in novices, right? That's their rules. So since then, I realized that not me actually. Like at that time, I have no idea what this game is, right? So my parents, like my father and my mother, they were like really pushing me to get into the sports. because my father is also a sportsman. He's a black belt 3 karate master, as well as my mother. She used to play volleyball at her school time as well, because it's like a sporty environment in the house. They try to push me to reach my sporting goals, right? Then by the time like I started playing, then I like got into the game and I started winning, and I really like made friends, when making friends in that time. And you can't, you have sports friends than normal friends, right? So like that I made friends, and like have that taste to win, the hunger since then as well. And also then I started playing cricket as well from grade 5. And yeah,
Hmm.
that's another story. Yeah, the Scotch story begins like that, and here I am.
You started from grade 2.
Yes.
Okay. And so it sounds like your family environment kind of added a lot of motivation for you to take sports more seriously, right?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
your father was a karate person and then your mother is a volleyball player. So the mindset is by default, I think it's set when you were a child.
Yeah.
So how's your father's contribution? So maybe we can look at each individual's contribution
Yeah.
towards your main goal. So what's your
Yeah.
father's contribution like to
So
you?
when I was like small time, like he was abroad most of the time, okay. So my father's contribution was like mostly Uh, he came to watch one of my matches because he's now in Sri Lanka after 10 years, right? So you can imagine. So he doesn't like there for me, but because he
Wait, are
is
you saying
funding for
he's back
me.
in Sri Lanka after 10 years?
Yes, I mean like
Wow.
he came to watch my match after 10 years. Like he was there,
Ah,
and when he was in the country, there were no tournaments for me to play, right? So this time he had this I had this opportunity to take him to whatever to watch my games, right? So and also like funding and all everything. Playing a sport is really expensive. I had to tour, so I started touring when I was 12 years old. I represented Sri Lankan junior team when I was 11 years old. And since then, I was touring Malaysia, India, and all everything for the funds and all everything. I can't approach any sponsors like now at that time because I was small, and sponsors don't give a thing about uh, sport at that level. This it's a small level, right? So my father is the one who sponsored me, fun like funds and all everything. He said like, don't worry, I will put you this. And he has never like let me to look down because of funds, because he sponsored me for all the tournaments that I went during my junior times. And also my mother, she has like she's doing the back row model. Like wherever I go, she is there. Wherever I train, she is there. Whenever I tour, she is there with me. Like she's like the motivating person for me, like in the backhand, because if anyone needs a coach, everyone needs a coach. Like she was my coach back then, right? And yeah, she was my most like yeah, she was a motivator. And my father, obviously, that's
okay.
the support that I
Now
got.
on
Yeah.
okay, super. When did your journey start to take off
To take off professionally or
professionally? Yes.
professionally, actually, like I will in Asian Championships. I never been like I have never got this opportunity to represent Sri Lanka at the senior level, even though like I was the vice captain in the under 19 Scotch team in 2019. 2019 was my last tour, right? So then I had no tours till 2021, right? Then no tours at all, right? So 2023, right? 2019 was my last tournament. 2023 till then I had no tournaments at all. I never toured, right? But this time in 2023, I was able to select to the national senior team to represent Sri Lanka at the most prestigious event for a Scotch player can have. It's Asian Scotch Championships in Hong Kong. And me and my national champion, we went to there to compete in the Asian Championships. that was the turning point for my professional career, because I was not a member at the professional squash association at that time, right? So by selecting for that tournament, I got this hunger to reach to the top 50 in the world, right? So that was the turning point. That's where I met so many people. That's where I like met so many brands. That's where I actually like felt that I wanted to take off, and that's where it
So
is.
that is in 2020. So that happened this year.
Yes, this year.
So this year is the year where your motivation took a huge spike.
Yes.
Okay, okay. I think it's a great thing. And also, I feel like since your tour was completely dedicated for tournaments, so whatever you see, the people, whoever you were interacting with, everything was somehow related to squash,
Yeah.
right? So, are you a self-motivated person, or does the things around you motivate you? What is it?
Yes, actually, like the people that I met, right? So, uh, I started working at the gym called CrossFit Ceylon, and my gym, my current gym, where they're the one who sponsored me during for my training facilities, Kaizen Fitness. Those are the people that motivated me to reach my goal, right? When I struggled to find sponsors because the ministry couldn't fund for me and the other player to compete in the Asian Championships, even though we are representing Sri Lanka. The government couldn't fund because they didn't have money with them to fund the players, right? So the other player got a company to sponsor, and I had to find sponsors, right? So Pufferfish also sponsored me, Shuheb, and I was looking for sponsors, and I was down. Even though I got selected, I cannot go because I don't have funds, right? So at that in the Kaizen Fitness and CrossFit Ceylon, though the members, the people, and connections, and also some community called EPFS community on Facebook, those are the people who funded me to go to the uh, championships, right? So this environment told me, those people has told me, has given me the message, I'm not alone,
Mm.
right? That environment created a huge motivation for me, because I didn't have to worry about the funds because they were backing me up. So yes, in like environment is really important, because yeah, recently I saw a video. It's a long story, I will keep it short. If you keep telling yourself that I don't eat sugar, right? That I don't need sugar, but there are there is an Oreo biscuit in your pantry, right? You don't take it away. First day you say, okay, I'm not gonna eat. Second day you can say, I'm not gonna eat. Even though the third day you open it, you can say, I'm not gonna eat. Fourth day, you are just looking at someone who's looking, because you are telling that to yourself and the people around you, you're not eating sugar. But the fourth day, you're gonna open it and see someone is looking and try it out to just to see how it is, right? And the third day, fourth day, okay, just one. By the time you have completely finished the Oreo or whatever the biscuit packet that you have is in there, it is because the Oreo biscuit is there, right? Even though your willpower is not to eat sugar, in the environment you have your like the opposite of
Yeah,
your willpower, right?
yeah,
So the environment, you ate it because you had it, right?
yeah.
So environment is really important. And yes, that's the message, right? Even though your willpower is so like so broad, so straight out, your environment really matters,
It
right?
impacts as well.
Yes, it impacts your life.
Okay, okay. Is there a reason why? So you're a squash player, but you had to learn cricket as well. Is that a reason? Is that a connection?
You mean cricket?
Yeah.
Yes. So when I was like, I had done so many sports when I was schooling. So I did swimming, I did karate, I did handball, I did athletics, and I still have the record in the school as well for the uh, for the only DS students. So I went to DS as I mentioned earlier. The only DS and Anakian who could achieve all four prestigious, all three prestigious. Uh, what do you say? The
As one
main
person.
as one person, right? The one is the games captain, and number two is the DS Lion, which means most outstanding sportsman of the year, and the other one is the head prefect, right? So those three prestigious, what do you say?
Recognition.
Yeah, recognitions. So for the 57 years of the school history, I'm the only person to achieve all three of them at once, right? There are a prefect who has got their lions, and there are a prefect who get their games captain, but not all three, right? So yeah, by telling cricket, so I done so many sports, right? But when I was doing my O levels, the education pressure and sport pressure, the both came in, and I had to select at least two sports. Like I had to select only one sport, but I was in the first 11 team as well as I'm in the national junior team in squash. I couldn't like let those two go, right? So I kept those two with myself, and I let other sports go. But I did athletics with sports meets, and I'm the 100 meters champion and under 20 champion in school as well. When sports meets only, I didn't compete in the national level during school because I was playing cricket and squash. So cricket is I started playing when I was 5 years old, and I started playing for the first 11 team when I was 16 years old, when I was in grade 11. So I played cricket for first 11 cricket for 4 years, and as well as I played club cricket. And I recently stopped playing in 2022. I stopped playing because I want to put more focus on the game of squash because I had to figure out what I'm gonna do. So I chose squash because that's where I am, like the highest level of my career. So cricket, I'm not in the national level. If I was in the national team, I would have dropped squash. But cricket is a very competitive. I like competitivity, but it's political as well, right? So I chose to, it's a single sport. I can put myself, and it's how you put yourself to work, how good you become, right? Even though you so it's a single sport. So individual sports, I stopped playing cricket in 2022 because of that reason. I started playing. It's not started. Continued playing professionally in squash.
Okay. So one of the reasons I think you are really good at squash is not just because of squash, it's because of other sports that you do. Maybe swimming adds some sort of a value to it.
Yeah.
Being good at cricket adds value to it. So I want to know, like people might think, okay, if this is my direction, I'm only going to focus on that because other things might not contribute to it. But the opposite also sometimes true. If this is what I want to do, the more other things I do, it will make me more focused and maybe help with my brain activities to focus more and be good at what I do.
Yeah.
So what is your take on that?
So I take my take on that is like if you want to focus on one thing, you have to really focus. If you want to like build your career, this is not talking about something like a childish way. This is talking about the professionalism to build your career, right? So when you're building your career, even though you are a sportsman, even though you are an engineer or a doctor or someone that you want to become in the near future or the coming future, and your goal, you have to focus on one thing. The reason on focusing on one thing, if you don't focus on that the specific thing, and your mind is going all over the place to focus on that, focus on that, focus on this, focus on this, it will sabotage your end goal to reach to your final destination. Because If you cannot focus on one thing and put 100% effort to reach to that goal, and you are putting your 100 like 20%, 20%, 20%, and reaching to try to reach all at once, that is not going to happen, because you have to sacrifice something to reach to a desired goal. But when I tell to cut those loose points, I did not mean to focus on enjoying yourself as well, right? So as a person, you if you too much focus on too much, right? Too much focus on one thing, you're gonna burn out, right? At the burnout point, then you will realize that, for an example, if you are a person who goes to the gym every day and you work on your biceps only, right? You want to look good, you want to feel uh, nice to girls if you're a boy, right? So what you do is, they only focus on your biceps, right? If you only focus on your bicep Monday to Friday, you work on different types of muscle groups on only on biceps. What is going to happen is your muscle cannot take it, right? Which can tear you, right? Which can tear your muscles or tissues and get you into the injuries, because it is too much, right? Your body needs rest as well. Okay, if your body asks something, right, give it, right? If not, at some point, motivation kills people. You have to be intelligent, right? Hard work as well as smart work. Not only hard work works, not only smart work works, right? Smart work, hard work, both has to be
Combined together.
combined together. Yes, that's a word.
So I think it's also the motivation. What is the why do you want to do it? So are you going to the gym to just look good, or are you going to the gym to be healthy? So that
Yeah.
also plays the main role.
Hmm.
Okay, so I don't think someone is going to the gym just to look good in front of other people. Then I feel like maybe when they get older and older, they will stop doing it because their main
Yeah.
focus was to attract other people,
Yeah.
right? So I think starting with the right purpose is more important than just doing it, right?
Yes. True.
Um, okay, so how do you keep yourself consistent? I know you're the least lazy person on earth, one of the least lazy person on earth. You're always ready to go out and practice at 6, wake up at 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 4 a.m., maybe do practices even at night. So which is like a superpower when you take the society in general, because a lot of people don't spend time on their health. And even now, if someone comes and asks me, can you go to the shop and come, I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to go now," right? So how do you how are you so consistent, and how do you have that energy? How
Energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how do you, it's basically how are you overcoming laziness?
Laziness means like playing squash is what I love to do, right? If you call me at 12 a.m. and ask me to come and play squash with you, I'm so down, right? If only I didn't have a tough session in the evening, because I really, really care about my sleep. Every day I sleep 8 to 9 hours, 7 to 8, 9 hours to take my body recover for the next day, right? So because my routine is like I wake up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning, 5:30 a.m. and I sleep at 9:30, mostly 10. So that's my routine. So in between, I'll tell you a story, okay? So I had this injury on my shoulder and I had to rest for 2 weeks. Okay, I cannot put a ball, like hit a ball or nothing. All right, no squash for 2 weeks. So that was out of my routine, right? I never like done that. So I was like feeling crazy because my head went out of out of my mind, because I don't know what to do, right? Because I love to play squash. I love to work out. I love,
Hmm.
that's what I'm passionate about, right? If you're truly passionate about something, then you are doing it. So the motivation is that I found my passion. All right. So if you want to motivate yourself, don't, like, sometimes I watch motivational videos when I'm like, like burning out, trying, feeling like I'm going to burn out. I watch these all, and rest and recovery and all everything. But the most important motivation of yourself has to be the true passion, the true desire. You have
Mm.
to make sure that you are passionate about. So some say like, I work out this time, but I don't feel like working out, right? But yet
Yeah.
you do, right? So yet you do. So that's what you're passionate about, right? So so as the true motivation is you doing what you don't like the way you like it. All right, you don't
Because
like.
you have a very strong end goal.
Yes. So yes, the I was going to the why you do that is because you have planned out the next 5 years where you have to come, and planned out the next 10 years where you should go. But if you just look at that 5 to 10 years and I'm gonna be there at that time, you're gonna definitely burn out because you only see that. But to go there, you have to have the small steps that you have to break, right? Someday, so you're not gonna be the same person every day. Not every day is gonna be a good day, right? There are very bad days in practices. But I lose to juniors when I went to Malaysia. What I figured out is I was playing really well with the seniors, but I was losing to the juniors. The main reason is not me. It's my mindset, right? It's the pressure that I put, right?
Because you don't want to lose to the juniors.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So always make sure that you have to be really consistent because you have to be passionate about your goal. Have that in your mind, but to go to that end goal, you have to complete small steps and be consistent is the matter. All right? To be consistency, motivation is important, but discipline is really important. Discipline is not how you cut your hair. Discipline is not how you shave. All right? It's about how you behave to, if you really want to be to that goal. Is this necessary, right? For an example, I don't buy expensive uh casual wear. Okay, I just buy second hand, or fake, like cheap stuff for my day to day.
That serves a purpose.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I do buy expensive and the original stuff that is important for the game, because
Yeah.
that is what I need, not what I want. So you have to make sure what are your needs and what are your wants. If you understand, if you clarify those two things into yourself, then you will see your purpose and you will see how you are going to improve yourself.
Do you have like a strategy approach towards your success or whatever you do, or is it like naturally flowing?
Uh, I'm not successful yet, right? I'm just in the beginning of,
It's a
because
big achievement anyway. So
yeah.
I know
So the
you have a bigger goal, so which means for you it's like okay, I have a long way to go, but I think it's a big milestone that is already achieved,
yeah,
and you have more milestone to achieve.
yes, yes.
But I'm asking, do you have like a strategic approach to that, or how is it?
Yeah, the approach is like be disciplined and continuous continuous improvement. So every day I train like it's my last day, right? So I give my 100%, but sometimes where I need rest, I talk to the coach where I feel like this is not gonna help me. I I just have a rest, okay? And also I go for practice every day to learn something, right? So I always ask myself, is this practice was a productive one or not, right? And every training session I note down my weaknesses, and I rate my training out of like 10, which was my training. Like if I don't feel very confident, I just put 2 out of 10, right? And also how the sessions look like, what should I improve, what should I have improved, and what's the progression. So I every training session, after every training session, I note it down. So end of the week, I figured it out, like what I have improved, and am I still doing the same mistakes, right? If you're doing the same mistake over and over and over and again, that is a problem, because
Mm.
which means you're not overcoming your mistake, you're doing the same mistake. You cannot do the same mistake over like more than 50 times, right? So you have to learn, right? So that's what I do, the strategic way, I think, I
Approach is to
guess
be
that's.
consistent for on smaller things.
Yes.
That makes sense. Yeah, because I think there's a famous story. If a plane, when it's flying, and if it changes its direction by 1 degree every minute, in half an hour, its direction is completely different.
Yes.
Which means it's a small degree of turns. It's making a huge change.
Yes.
So some people have different strategies to improve, and I think maybe your strategy is to make sure that the small turns are solid
Yeah.
for you. So that's why you're naturally at a gradual speed. You're getting there. So
Yes.
you mentioned about you reviewing your daily satisfaction of the practices that you do. Do you have
Yeah.
like a card or something, like a template or something, or is it noting down on the book?
Yeah, I have a notebook which was so like I had, so I have to tell you this as well, okay? When I was like, struggling to select which game I should stop and which game I should uh, look as my career, right? I was like seeking help with the consultant, which means the mindset coach. So I hired a mentor who's Ramidu Randeni. He was he was the one who showed me the way, right? I had no idea where I was gonna do, what I was gonna do, right? He's the one who showed me the way at first, right? I couldn't mention it, right? Before Asian Championships, he's the one who. So the main reason to come to the Asian Championship is because he changed my way to see that goal, right? So he's the one who taught me, the Ramindra Randhani. He's the one who taught me, like, track your progress, this and this. So when you come to elite level, physical fitness is okay. But even though you are 200, 300% physically fit, but you are not mentally fit enough, the 100% mentally fit person can beat you even though you are 200% mentally physically fit,
Mm.
right? So you have to be make sure that you are mentally fit, not only physically, right? In the elite level, in the professional level, the mental fitness is really important, and that's where the game change. Because when you come to that level, when you come to, so when I go to international tournaments, everyone is fit, right? No one is unfit, everyone is fit. The one who wins the game is the one who more fitter in here, right? If your mentality is so strong and you have this, never giving up mindset, that's where the real player comes. Even though those two players are physically fit the same level, the one who wins is the one who is more trained
It's a
the
strong
mind.
mindset.
Yes.
That's an interesting thing because a lot of people focus on becoming good at what they do physically, but they don't focus on because maybe they are not aware of it. They, of course, when you do well physically, if you can play well, obviously your mind is going to convince itself that okay, you are making progress or you are a good player. That is a natural way of us feeling good and confident. But at the same time, when you reach higher positions in life and you have to compete with more stronger people, at that moment, strength is not enough. Now your internal mindset is more and more important. So you hired a mindset coach, is it? So that is an
Yeah.
interesting thing. I don't think a lot of people think of that. So at
Yeah.
which point did you realize, okay, I need a mindset coach?
At So when I was, playing, started playing squash, and I was like, I was called for the national team, top eight, right? So for the national team, but I haven't toured for any tournaments. I haven't toured, but I was called for the national team. right? Because of my previous achievements and all, everything junior, and I was in top 8 in 2019-20. Then I was called for the team for practices and South Asian Games practices trials, but I didn't have that, go. Then eventually I saw his one of his business coaching strategies on Instagram stories, sponsor stories. Then I reached him out, and I was telling him I'm a fitness coach as well, and to fund my career, I was doing fitness coach to fund my Scotch career, and like that we had a real conversation. And he said, "Okay, let's meet." Okay, this is really important. Even though you text, you don't get the impression that you're gonna say, right? You have to talk to people to understand
Face to face. Yeah.
yeah, face to face, right? Even though it's live, you really don't get it, right? You have to sit and talk, right? If you get sit and talk, you will understand what is really important. Like, you can really understand the person. So likewise, so I met him, and we had a discussion, and suddenly I thought, I talked to my parents and I hired him, and yeah, he. That's when all the directions change.
Okay, that's when your motivation towards that bigger goal has improved. It
Yes.
gave you a real reason for you to focus on that more and more. And
Yes.
obviously, whatever the small steps you took, it added more and more motivation. Like obviously,
Yes.
traveling towards that, I think it kept reminding you that this is much fun. At the same time, it's more important because
Yeah.
just imagine your destination is in one place, but whatever you're doing, you're traveling and meeting people. Whatever you're doing is actually supporting the main thing that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
So it's just like it sounds like a beautiful life actually, because everything is pointing towards one.
actually,
one
actually, like iPhones and Instagram, everyone listens to what you talk, right? Then they really supports the
exactly.
pudding, yeah. But
So
sometimes
content
it's
creation. One other important thing is a lot of people don't like to share what they do and share what their growth with their followers or their friends, which I think I don't know. They try to keep it like a secret, and maybe one when they achieve something they want to share. But you kept it clear from the beginning itself. You said these are challenges I'm facing. This is the practice I'm doing. I'm going to this place. So is it important to share those small success and failures regularly?
regularly means, which means like when I started touring, I had no sponsors, right? But I had this hunger to, I want to do somehow, right? I want to compete in, like, somehow I had to find money, right?
Yeah.
Even though people say you can't, you don't have to earn money, just may earn people, right? You cannot do at the same time, because you have to
Yeah.
pay bills, right? So I really wanted to, compete in the international level. So that's where my dream. So I had to do it somehow, right? So I have to tell to the people who are watching me, who can support me, that I'm looking for this, because I cannot do it alone. I want help to achieve my goals. So that's the support, that's the help that I wanted. I tell the people to who would like to sponsor me, and they contacted me. So I kept it open because I wanted to do it somehow at any cost, right? So I wanted to do it at any cost. That's why I kept my ego away. I kept my shyness away, and started asking for what is required, for the requirements, right? So I kept everything away, because when you want to achieve something, you have to put your ego away. You have to put your shyness away. If you really want help, and your ego is too high, you don't want to ask help from people, that is not going to work. Because if you need some help, from any kind of help, you have to seek. If you're not seeking opportunities, you're not going to find opportunities, right? Every day you work out You have to see everything as an opportunity. If you don't see an opportunity, you're gonna lose the opportunities that you're gonna like. There will be opportunities that, but you're not seeking for it. You're not gonna find it. So
Yeah.
likewise, so that's why I kept it open, because I wanted it. I wanted it at any cost, right? So that's the reason I kept, and but that didn't go anything. That nothing went wrong, and I partnered up with so many brands. Currently, I'm partnered up with Dimec. They're the one who sponsored me for the tournaments, and not fully, but they are sponsoring me. And yeah, likewise, still I'm looking for sponsors for my next year, right? I can't do it every day, so that is the so I can show the people that I have this hunger and I'm doing it this at any cost. And I have proven them that from the 8 months of time that this was my world ranking, and this is now my world ranking, because I'm not just for asking money. I am showing them the results. So that is what really is important, because yeah, that's why I keep everything visible, and telling everyone that what I am doing, that's what it is.
Yeah, I think I was imagining, what if you did not ask for help? I think you would have lost motivation and maybe you were trying something else.
Yeah.
So you had a very strong motivation, and that led you to put your ego down and then ask for help. And asking for help actually opened more areas of communication and
Yeah.
connections. So that actually escalated your journey at a higher speed, which I
Yes.
think is one of the best, maybe one of the best lessons we can all learn from that would be that
Yeah.
how strong your goal is and how much do you really want it will actually make you do things that you're not really comfortable with,
Pardon?
So that will actually, like, maybe, like, I don't want to ask help, so that is something that you're not comfortable doing,
Yeah. So
but
yeah.
you
So
really have the burning desire, so which means, like, okay, this is bigger than this, so I have to
yeah.
ask.
Yeah. So always, like everyone is saying, you have to, if you want to achieve something, you have to come out of your uncomfortable zone. So you have to be uncomfortable. It is going to hurt, right? So for an example, if you want to build muscles, right? The basic example, you just can't sit on a couch and say, I'm going to build muscles. You have to put effort. You have to like give that burn to
Burn it,
build the
yeah,
muscle.
burn it and feel some
Yeah,
pain. Yes.
yeah, the pain. Yes. So comfortable zone is where you lose so many opportunities. So you have to come out of, see, if you want to, as I always say, if you want to seek support, ask for help, and that's what it is.
Do you have your So you're working towards something big, and do you have it defined, like, this is exactly what I want to become?
Yeah. So every Scotch player's dream is to become the world champion, and my dream is to become the world champion as well. But everyone's dreaming, but no one can do it. Only one can do it, right? So yet I'm giving my best to become the top 50 in the world. If I become top 50 in the world, and to become the world champion is nothing. So to reach to that, I have to like take different types of steps, and slowly but surely I'm gonna be there, and I know I will get support in the future, and I will be there. I will see you in few years in the world stage.
I love that. Okay. Also, I love the fact that you are, as you said before, you are not just asking people sponsors and just trying to do whatever you can at your minimal. You're actually showing proof, like the numeric proof, which I think is so important, rather than saying I'm makes sense. But when you show the results, my rank was this and it has improved to this, and this is my schedule, this is the number of hours I train. So you made everything numeric, a lot of things. And also you have showed your past achievements, current achievements, everything. And that's why I think people are not thinking too much. They're just immediately, okay, this guy is more motivated than I thought. So because he knows what he's doing. He exactly knows what he's doing, because everybody has a very minimal expectation when they are trying to give sponsorship. They think, okay, a few things I need from you, that's it. But you're actually giving more than what they are looking for,
Yeah.
which is like it's not even getting them to think twice. So they're just directly going for it. So I
Yeah.
wish you all the best, and we'll keep in touch. Maybe we might do a part two when you
Yes, really.
hit the different milestone. And
Yes.
all the best. Thank you for joining this live.
Thank you very much for having me.